Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On this video today, I'm going to show you guys how to keep a wellness journal. So I've always been super into journaling since I was young. I just think it's so important to be able to get our thoughts and our emotions out on paper, and it really just helps to process and release those emotions. But what made this relevant for me again is that I'm taking an online course right now for life coaching. It's integrative, holistic wellness life coaching, and basically they're talking about keeping a wellness journal, but it's in a way that I never thought to keep one. So the benefit of keeping a wellness journal regularly would be that you can communicate your thoughts and emotions, feelings, and you can help to process and release these emotions. I don't know about you guys, but for some reason for me, everything really just blends together and meshes together for me to the point that I don't know how many good days I've had, I don't know how many bad days I've had. It all just becomes a blur with my emotions and mentally especially. So it's a really good way to keep track of how you've been feeling, paying attention to what's been going on inside, because we're so busy all the time doing all these external things, and a lot of times we don't have time or we're not even aware of what's going on inside. So what I've been learning on the online course is when you're keeping your journal to keep in mind the 4 body systems. So mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. They also call it MEPS, MEPS, and that's an easier way to remember it. And your journal doesn't have to be in depth. You can just put bullet points. So I'm going to read a sample one for you guys. You can do it in a couple different ways. I basically just split it up. So I literally went from each body system. So it's recommended that you keep your journal at the end of the day so that you can reflect on the day that you just had. This is just a sample that I made. So I'm starting with mental. I just put, woke up today thinking of work immediately, kind of put me in a panic, started thinking about negative things, checked my emails, which made it worse. On the way to work, I started to say positive affirmations to shift my focus. Wasn't really feeling it at first, then it got better. I surprisingly felt pretty positive for the rest of the day at work. After work, I had some negative self-talk. I went to the gym and I felt more positive and focused. Meditated after the gym to clear my mind and get ready for bed. So as you can see, it's really just point form. It doesn't have to be like anything elaborate. Then we move on to emotional. So emotional, I put, woke up feeling anxious because I was thinking about work. I kind of felt defeated on my way to work. Affirmations made me feel slightly more peaceful. Throughout the day, surprisingly, I felt a lot of peace. Then I became sad after work because I started thinking about the past. When I was getting ready to go to sleep, I felt a little bit anxious, still peaceful, and I did my meditation. Next, we have physical. So I put, slept for 7 hours last night, woke up and my body was sore from the gym. I felt tired. I ate steel-cut oats and bananas. At work, I sat all day, so I kind of felt low energy. I ate my lunch, went to Chipotle, obviously, and my energy spiked. Then after a couple of hours, I started to feel a little bit crappy and sluggish, tired at work. I was tired after work. Didn't want to go to the gym, but I forced myself to go. After I did the warm-up, I actually felt energetic, which spiked my energy. By the time I got into bed, I started to slow down, and then eventually I felt physically exhausted and ready for sleep. Now lastly is spiritual. So spiritual can mean whatever it means to you. If you are a spiritual person, if you are a religious person, whatever it means to you, you don't even have to have a religion to write something spiritual, because everyone has a spirit, right? So this is just what I would do. So after waking up and not feeling great, I prayed for a bit in the morning, asking God to guide my day for me. On the way to work, I also said another prayer. I said a prayer for friends, family, different situations going on in my life. On the way home from work, I thanked God for the day that I had, for keeping me safe, for keeping my loved ones safe. At night, I meditated and I spoke to God again, asking him if there's anything that he wants to reveal to me. Overall, today, spiritually, I felt quite comforted by God, except for in the morning part. And at night, I felt peaceful again. So there, I just broke up the 4 body systems and touched on all of them, because for me personally, it's easier to just focus on one thing at a time, because my day can just become a blur. But you don't have to separate it. You can just put everything all together if that's easier for you. So for an example, maybe what that would look like is just meshing it all together and just saying, had 7 hours of sleep last night, woke up feeling crappy, my body hurt, I felt kind of sad. I started having negative self-talk and I was thinking about work. I checked my emails, which made it worse. Then I was starving. I ate my steel cut oats and oatmeal, felt a little bit better, felt a tiny bit more energized in my body, got in my car driving to work. I started having negative self-talk again, felt sad. I did a prayer. I did some affirmations. I felt better. Got to work, sat all day. So physically, I just felt like really slow. But surprisingly, I felt more positive. I felt a little bit happier, more uplifted. After I ate lunch, which I ate Chipotle, I crashed again about an hour later, started having negative self-talk about what I ate. Maybe I shouldn't have got a burrito. Maybe I should have got a burrito bowl. Then I started thinking of the past on the way home. It made me feel sad. I said a prayer. I thanked God. I got home. I was physically exhausted, but I decided I'm going to go to the gym. I really didn't want to. It was a huge mental struggle. Got to the gym and I felt a little bit defeated because I saw there were so many other people in the gym and it made me feel uncomfortable and insecure. But I pushed through anyways. And once I did the warm up, then my body felt ready to work out. I finished the workout strong. I was really happy about that. I drove home and I just felt high off of these endorphins. I got home, I ate again. I felt physically exhausted. Mentally, I started to feel a little bit anxious again and I started to have negative self-talk. So I did some meditation, I did some prayers, I did some positive self-talk. I started to feel better, less anxious, more peaceful, and then my body was physically exhausted and I fell asleep. You don't even have to write that much if you don't want to. You can just write one line for each body system if you wanted to. Like mental, overall, felt pretty positive today, but I had some negative self-talk. Emotional, I felt really anxious in the morning, and then I felt peaceful throughout the rest of the day, anxious again at nighttime. Physical, my body hurt when I woke up, then I felt sluggish throughout the day. I ate too much food, then I worked out and felt energized again. Spiritual, I felt really close to God today, and I did lots of prayers. Also, you don't actually have to have a physical journal. You can write it in the notes on your phone, obviously, and some people even just keep voice notes instead. Or what I've been doing lately is I'm lazy to type, so I just use like the little hello type for me thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. And that's really it. You don't even have to spend a lot of time on it. I just think it's really helpful because then if you have any issues that suddenly pop up and you're not sure where they came from, maybe suddenly you're having an allergy, maybe you're breaking out, you can go back and check, what have I been eating? How much sleep do I generally have? Maybe it's the time that I'm working out that it's affecting my body, or suddenly you're feeling really depressed or really anxious and you're trying to figure out like, was this normal? Did I always feel like this? And you can go back and you can do that self-survey, which I know sounds really basic, but not everyone is that self-aware. So it kind of forces you to become self-aware. And not only that, but to me, again, the most important thing is to process and to release emotions, because we have so many things that go on throughout our minds and throughout our bodies all day. We have different arguments with people. We have fights. We're driving in traffic. We get angry at people. There's bad news that's thrown at us. And maybe we don't have someone to talk to. Maybe we have no way of venting and getting these emotions out. But at least if we can get them out on paper or out through a voice note or somewhere on our phone, we can get those emotions out and we can process and hopefully we can release them. So that's it for this video. I hope that this encourages you guys to keep a journal or somehow just become self-aware, because really the only thing it can do is benefit you. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and for liking it, subscribing to my channel, and I will see you next week. Bye!